In this episode, we journeyed through the first 2 days of the peer education training seminar here in Angeles City, Pampanga. Okay, I just finished day 2 of the peer education training seminar and I'm going to give you guys a recap of what happened here. Last week, the City Health Office received a letter indicating that the coordinator of the City Adolescent Health and Development attend this activity here at Century Hotel Pampanga. There has been no previous assigned focal person for this DOH program in Olongapo City. This is the reason why City Health Officer Dr. Roderick Bustamante has asked me to be that focal person. I am currently the coordinator also of the CDD Carry program, and I will be delighted to have this opportunity to add this to my responsibility. So I went out yesterday and traveled by bus early. I would have gone with my car, but unfortunately my Everest computer box is still defective. It was defective because my car got flooded in the Olongapo Flood of 2013. If you don't know about that, I took a video of it and you can find the link below this video, or you can search through it in my video roster. My car can actually run at the top speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Specialists from Ford actually told me that I would never get to that speed with a defective computer box. But that's another story for another time. To get here would take forever and the risk of being towed is highly likely in the SC Tex highway. When I got here to Century Hotel Pampanga, I noticed that it was very beautiful. 2 years ago I met my wife here, and the pool in this hotel years ago was not that enticing. Anyway, the first day of the seminar was met with delays, so we started in the afternoon. The seminar started with the same formal introductions, and I found out that I was one of only 2 doctors in the room. Then the other doctor disappeared. The seminar was actually targeted for young people. The attendees were largely adolescents accompanied by their teachers. There were, however, a handful of us in the medical field, and the areas where we came from are all over Region 3. There is a nurse each from Baler, Olongapo, and Cabanatuan. There is even a teacher and his students from Sapang Palawan. We were a diverse group of people with very large age gaps. This surprised the seminar facilitators somewhat, but they opted that we adults imagine ourselves instead as of the same group. Unfortunately, I think that the other doctor in the group did not feel up to this and made up an excuse and went out. And being the only doctor left in the seminar, I was not only a participant, but I became a focal person in the first 2 days of this seminar. This was because the facilitators of the seminar are actually not doctors, nor are they in the medical field. They like to call themselves as peer educators, and I am glad that they are the ones doing this seminar. The first 2 days of this seminar was filled with parlor games and energizers, which was great. They interspersed this with lectures about reproductive health, and it's not the other way around. Yep, you heard me. Like I said, the facilitators actually thought that the only participants are going to be young people. So they made it tailored to be more fun rather than just delivering facts. And so far, I think that it's working on young people attending this group. They are being trained in this seminar to become youth leaders in their area and also to become the first peer educators. If you think I feel like I'm in the wrong group, actually that's not how I work. I look for ways to contribute to this group as a doctor or a medical focal person, and somehow I like how I am helping these kids to become more oriented to their sexual and reproductive health. I always think for ways to make my time more productive so as to convert my time to be someone useful, and this is a perfect opportunity. The first lecture is actually on Youth Adolescent Sexual Health Reproductive Situationer. It explains facts and data in the Philippines that are current and of use by the Department of Health as of publishing this video. The facts are actually not so current because of the process of collecting, validating and reporting of the data in the Department of Health. It takes years to finally approve the data for use, and even if it may be a little outdated, the program implementers need to act on this data for decision making for the entire country. Right now, 30% of the Philippine population belong to the youth. That is about 28.2 million kids. Nearly half, or 45.3% of these kids are not in school and contribute to the total labor force. Only 31% of the 28.2 million kids in the Philippines ever finish high school. 3.4 million are actually drug dependents, and most are in the age groups of 15 to 17 years old. 23% engage in early sex, 80% of which is unprotected. Of the females who become pregnant early, 17% have induced abortion. 17% of the youth die from violence. These statistics reflect the poor health of the adolescent population today. We can't turn a blind eye to this data because we are talking about millions of kids. Peer education is actually one method, but not the only solution to this problem. Kids are reluctant to seek help from authoritative figures like me, but will most of the time listen more to their peers. So the goal of these peer ed trainers is to teach kids the correct way to advise their peers. And if these youth leaders or the kids that join this seminar are to be advisors of their peers, they must remove all societal taboos and bias that can hinder giving of great advice. So in day 2 of this seminar, the facilitator actually lectured and taught kids to understand their own reproductive system. They taught these kids to not be ashamed of saying the proper Tagalog words for vagina and penis, and actually made them say out aloud suso, pekpek, titi, and bulbul. Why? To avoid the danger of 1. Giving the wrong advice because of using vague words like flower or petchay, and 2. Being targets of sexual offenders who victimize children by using these innocent and vague words. The kids were also taught about the presence of the LGBTQI, or the group comprising lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transgender, the queer, and the intersex. It spans the definition of gender to not just being male and female. Also, the team tackled on teen early pregnancy. Most of what is happening in teen early pregnancy are examples of what society is driving at in terms of handling these situations. A peer education can significantly alter the outcomes of teen dating and sex. Making the adolescents informed and empowered gives them the opportunity to exercise their rights responsibly when it comes to sex and dating. The last events of day 2 tackled much more on sexual transmitted infections and HIV, in which I played a significant part in helping the facilitators explain more on HIV by answering most commonly asked questions. I'll be posting these questions and my answers in my blog, publichealthresources.blogspot.com. In the meantime, stay tuned for the next 2 days as we wrap this seminar up with more on adolescent issues, that is, if you are subscribed to my channel. If you're new, please feel free to subscribe as I will bring you more on public health. Also, you can like me on Facebook, on facebook.com/zeromilia, and follow me on Twitterland with my call sign @0md. Thank you very much for watching, and mabuhay!